Before sunrise, a barn aisle becomes a runway of pressure. A slim farm kid tightens a girth, hears hooves on dirt, and walks into a world that does not forgive youth. They call him too small, too young, a temporary story. Then the numbers start to speak. Day after day, he answers the call, rides in heat and rain, saves ground on the turns, and wastes nothing. The grandstand waits for him to fail. In one season, the horses he rides push past $6 million in purse money, a mark no jockey had ever reached before, not through luck, but through nerve, timing, and an iron sense of pace when the gate snaps open. This is Steve Cauthen. If you want racing history told like it felt in the moment, subscribe now and help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Stay to the end, and you will see how a boy and a few unforgettable horses turn disbelief into legend. Back in northern Kentucky, he grew up on a farm where horses were not a hobby. Before school, he carried feed buckets, filled water tubs, and mucked stalls. After school, he brushed coats, picked hooves, and walked horses until their breathing settled. By the time he was 12, he could tell from an ear flick when a horse was about to shy. At 14, he learned that a strong rider does not fight a horse. He guides, then lets the horse do its job. At 16, he started hanging around the stable area at local tracks, doing small chores for trainers just to earn a chance to gallop horses in the morning. The work taught him balance, patience, and how to save energy, the same skills a jockey needs to save ground on the turns. When he finally got race day mounts, he already knew what horses fear and what they trust. By 17, he was taking rides at tracks, learning to break clean and stay out of trouble. At 16 and 17, he walked into racetracks where most riders had years of hard lessons behind them. In the jockey room, a teenager was easy to dismiss. Trainers wanted steady hands, not a kid who might freeze when the gates snapped open. Some said his early wins came from good horses and simple luck. Veterans watched him on the turns, expecting him to lose position, drift wide, or rush the move. He listened, then adjusted. Break clean. Settle the horse. Save ground, wait for the right gap, then ask for run once. Each ride became a test of discipline. He did not argue with critics. He stacked quiet results until people stopped laughing and started watching. He rode anything offered, from small money races to last-minute calls, and he learned to think 2 moves ahead in crowded stretches at full speed, always. Next season would force every doubter to recalculate. In 1977, the calendar did not slow down for youth. The boy was booked from one racetrack to the next, with few hours between the last race and the next morning ride. He took claiming races, where a horse can be purchased after the race, then allowance races, a step above claiming races, then stakes when a trainer needed a light, steady hand on a runner. Every day demanded the same checklist. Break clean from the starting gate. Settle the horse so it could relax and breathe. Save ground on the turns by staying near the rail. Wait, then ask once. People still looked at his age before they looked at his results. Some horsemen said a teenager could not stay calm when bodies crowded together in the stretch. Some writers hinted he was only winning because he happened to land good mounts at the right times. Others waited for the fade, the week when the rides would dry up and the mistakes would show. Instead, the season kept piling up. Wins arrived in bunches, then kept arriving. By the end, he had won 487 races, the most in the United States that year. Then, the headline number landed. The total purse money earned by the horses he rode climbed past $6 million in a single season, a mark no jockey had reached before. It was not one superstar. It was dozens of horses and relentless scheduling. It happened through repetition, travel, and decisions made at full speed in tight quarters, with no room for panic. After that, the tone changed. Columnists who doubted him began calling him a phenomenon. Trainers stopped calling to test him and started calling to trust him. The same people who said he was too young now said he rode with the patience of a veteran. The boy had not asked for respect. He had forced it. In 1977, the boy was handed the reins of a chestnut colt named Affirmed. From the first workout, he felt something rare. Affirmed did not waste energy. He settled when asked, switched leads smoothly, and saved his best for the moment it mattered. When the boy kept his hands quiet, the colt relaxed. When he gave a clear signal, the colt surged, as if he understood the question. That intelligence changed how the boy rode. He stopped chasing early speed and started thinking about the last furlong. Affirmed also carried a stubborn edge. If another horse pressed him, he did not fold. He pinned his ears and fought for his lane. Soon one rival made every lesson sharper, a powerful colt named Alidar. They met and ran at each other, stride for stride, until the gap felt like a thread. The boy understood it right away. This partnership was not built for easy wins. It was built for pressure in the biggest races, with no room at all. In 1978, the pressure tightened and the predictions hardened. Many people believed Alidar was the stronger horse, the one built to end the rivalry on the biggest stage. Affirmed entered the spring with doubts attached to every stride. The boy felt those doubts in the paddock, in the betting talk, and in the way the crowd leaned toward the rival before the gates opened. At Churchill Downs, the Kentucky Derby delivered the first shock. He did not chase the early speed. He let Affirmed settle, saved ground on the turns, and kept the colt relaxed so he could finish. Turning for home, Alidar came to him like a promise the crowd expected to be kept. They ran together, shoulder to shoulder, and it looked as if the favorite would power past. Instead, Affirmed dug in and held to the wire. The margin was not large, but the message was clear. This was not a lucky day. 2 weeks later at Pimlico, the Preakness felt tighter and faster. The pace pressed early and the space disappeared. Alidar attacked again, closer than before, forcing decisions in seconds. The boy kept Affirmed in rhythm, waited, then asked once. The finish came down to inches, and Affirmed refused to give way. Another narrow win, another round of disbelief, and now the sport had to admit the pattern. Belmont Park was supposed to expose them. The distance was longer, the stretch felt endless, and many expected Alidar to finally wear Affirmed down. He wanted position early, then tried to control the tempo without spending too much too soon. Alidar tracked every step and met him at the top of the stretch. They locked together for the entire drive, neither giving an inch. In the final strides, Affirmed found one more breath and reached the wire first by a head. 3 classics, 3 shocks, and doubt died. Most expected Alidar to take at least one, but Affirmed kept answering, and the boy stayed unshaken. After the Triple Crown, the spotlight did not soften. Every move was judged, every ride replayed. Later that summer, in another major race, the horse crossed the wire first again, and the grandstand roared as if the rivalry had been settled for good. Then the inquiry light came on. Officials reviewed the stretch run and ruled that contact had cost another runner position. The order of finish was changed, and the victory disappeared from the record books. Some people called it justice, others called it robbery. For the boy, it was a blunt lesson about this sport. You can do everything right, feel the win in your hands, and still watch it taken away by a decision made after the fact. The debate followed him and the horse into every next start, adding weight to every stride. It also reminded him that reputation can swing on a single step too. The next season tested him in quieter, harsher ways. Winning had made him famous. Not winning made him a target. Trainers who once begged for a ride began to hesitate, looking for safer names. In the jockey room, whispers returned. He is too young. He peaked early. He only won because the horses carried him. He tried to answer the only way he knew, by showing up before daylight, taking mounts that were not easy, and riding with the same discipline. But racing can turn on small margins. A slow break, a wide trip, one blocked lane in the stretch. The results page did not explain the effort behind each loss, and the crowd rarely forgives a cold streak. Off the track, the job still demanded constant control. He had to stay light, stay sharp, and stay steady under pressure, even when the confidence of others was fading. Some days the sport measured him by ounces, not talent, and he could not argue with the scale. He learned that a jockey does not only manage speed, he manages doubt, his own and everyone else's, and he keeps riding through it. When the noise in the United States grew louder, he chose a harder reset. He went to England, where racing ran on turf. The pace unfolded differently, and patience mattered as much as courage. The jockey room was older, the traditions were stricter, and a young American did not get respect for past headlines. He had to earn it again, one ride at a time. The races asked new questions, longer stretches, tighter judging of position, and fields that surged late instead of flying early. He learned to read a race like a clock, to wait through the early fractions, then time the move so the horse finished strongest. It was not about proving he could win, it was about proving he could adapt. Before long, the results followed him overseas. The same hands that once felt too young now looked steady, and the same mind that survived pressure at home learned how to win in a different world. Years later, the story still splits into two images. A teenager who shocked the sport with a season that crossed $6 million in purse money, and a champion who learned that fame never guarantees comfort. But one name keeps tying it together: Affirmed. Without that chestnut colt, the boy might have been remembered as a brilliant year and a stack of numbers. With Affirmed, he became part of a rivalry and a triple crown that people still argue about and still replay. That is the real legacy. Not perfection, but pressure met head on. If you had to choose which moment defines him most, the 6 million season or the triple crown with Affirmed, tell us in the comments.